Getting your first coaching client isn't about having everything perfect. It's not about having the biggest following on social media. It's about being intentional and strategic about where you show up and having the confidence to start conversations. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been rocking with me for a while, welcome back. My name is Nick Scott. I am an income coach and marketing strategist who helps professional women turn their existing skills into high-ticket coaching and consulting offers. If that's something that resonates with you, go ahead and click that subscribe button and let's stay connected. In this video, I'm going to answer one of the most frequently asked questions I get, and that is, where do you find your first coaching clients? Because the fact of the matter is, you can have the best offer in the world and be the most amazing at what you do. But if you cannot find the people that need your help or what it is that you have to offer, you're literally just sitting there waiting for things to happen. And I don't know about you, but I'm about that action. I'm not really a big fan of just sitting around wasting my time and waiting for something to happen. So to answer that question, I'm going to give you 5 specific places that you can find your ideal clients right now. And here's the thing. What I'm going to be walking you through in this video, it is not theory. It is not any of that if you build it, they will come nonsense. What I'm about to give you are actual places where real people who actually need what you have to offer already are. But before we get into it, let me say this. The biggest mistake that I see so many aspiring coaches make is they believe that they have to wait until they have a massive following on social media before they get started. And the truth is, you don't. What you need is access to the right people and the confidence to start having conversations. That's it. Okay? Now let's get into it. The very first place you should be looking to find your first coaching clients is right in your network. And I know you're probably thinking, I don't want to be that person who is always trying to sell something to my friends and my family. And good, you should be thinking that, because that's not what I'm telling you to do. Here's what I am telling you to do. Let the people who already know you, who already trust you, and who have seen you in action, let them know what you're doing. People in your network could be former colleagues, people you went to school with, your sorority sisters, the folks at church, the moms at your kid's school. These are people who have already likely seen you working your magic. But here's a pro tip. You're not going to ask them to buy anything from you. You're going to ask them if they might know anyone who needs the thing that you're planning to do. So instead of going to your network and saying, hey, hire me, I'm a new coach, which honestly comes off real cringe for you and for them, you might want to say something like, I wanted to let you know that I'm working with women who are looking to transition from corporate into the online coaching business. Do you know anybody like that? You see the difference? You're not putting them on the spot. You're giving them the opportunity to connect you with someone that you can actually help. And honestly, sometimes they'll say, you know what? I've been thinking about that myself. The other thing that works really, really well with your network is something that I call a strategy session. I'm not talking about giving away the farm for free. I'm talking about a focused 30 to 45 minute conversation where you help them solve one specific problem or give them a clear action step. And if it makes sense, at the end of this session, you can let them know how they can take everything that you've discussed in this session a little bit deeper. The second place for you to find your first coaching clients is Facebook groups. Now, before you come at me in the comments telling me that Facebook is dead, let me give you just a few data points. Over 1.8 billion people worldwide use Facebook groups every single month. That's roughly 60 million people per day, 2.5 million people per hour, 42,000 people per minute, and nearly 700 people are using Facebook groups around the world every single second. But here's why Facebook groups are actually the perfect place for you to find coaching clients. People are self-selecting to be a part of these Facebook groups based on specific problems that they're trying to solve or specific identities that they have. Looking for women who are trying to launch businesses? There's a Facebook group for that. Looking for moms trying to figure out a work-life balance? There's probably 20 Facebook groups for that. But here's the part where most people mess this up. They join these groups and then they immediately start promoting their services or their offers. And listen, that is not marketing. That is not selling, that's called spam, and nobody likes spam. What you want to do when you join these groups where your ideal clients are already hanging out is you want to get into these groups and start providing value. Answer questions, share what you know, provide some real help to members in the group without expecting anything in return. One of my very first coaching clients actually came from a Facebook group. She was asking questions about something that I had experience with, and I just started answering the questions. Over the course of a few weeks, we had a back and forth thing going on, and eventually she reached out to me directly and said, "You've already given me so much helpful information for free. I can only imagine what it would be like to work with you. How can I learn more?" And that is the energy that you want to bring to these Facebook groups. You don't want to bring the energy or be the person that joins these groups and you're hollering from the rooftops, "Let me tell you about my services. Let me tell you about my digital products. Let me tell you about my online course. Let me tell you about my offer." But you want to go into these groups with the energy of, "I'm genuinely here to help people, to show my value, and to demonstrate my expertise." Because the thing about these Facebook groups is, if you're the person who is genuinely showing up as someone to be a resource and as someone who knows what they're talking about and as someone who's willing to help, the people in the group, they're gonna start to notice. And then, just like what happened to me, they'll start thinking, if this person is this helpful for free, how much more helpful would they be if I hired them? LinkedIn is a platform that is highly underutilized by online coaches and consultants, and I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why. Because it's literally a platform that was built for professionals who are looking for something different, looking for the next job offer, looking to transition out of corporate. That is literally what the platform was built for. The beautiful thing about LinkedIn is that it is a platform that was built for you to talk about who you are, what you do, and who you serve. So if you're a career coach, a leadership coach, a business coach, whatever the case may be, LinkedIn should definitely be one of the places that you show up. But again, the same principles apply here. You're not going to just start posting a bunch of hire me content. Again, that is not sales, that is not marketing, that is called spam, and nobody likes spam. Start sharing your insights, start getting active on the platform by commenting on other people's posts, and start having conversations. One strategy that works really, really well is to look at the people who are in your target audience and then start to engage with their content. Leave a thoughtful comment that maybe shares your perspective about what they're sharing. Send a connection request with a personalized note and start building actual relationships. See, this whole thing isn't about a transaction. It's about building relationships. And here's something that most people forget or just they don't think about. And that is LinkedIn has an impressive search function. You can literally search people by their job title, their industry, or their location. So if you know who your ideal client is, chances are you can find them on LinkedIn. Once you find a prospect, you'll reach out to them with a personal note and you'll say something like, "Hey, I noticed you work in marketing leadership. I actually work with marketing leaders who are looking to transition into a consulting business. I'd love to connect and learn more about what you're currently working on." You see how this is not spam or selling or constantly promoting yourself? You're having a genuine conversation. You're not trying to make a sale because the sale will come after you've built some trust with this person. The fourth place for you to find your first coaching clients is industry specific platforms and communities. This part is where you're going to have to be just a little bit strategic and creative. Think about where your ideal clients might naturally gather. And I don't mean just online. Think about some of the places that they gather offline as well. If you work with healthcare professionals, where do they hang out? Maybe it's certain professional associations. Maybe it's education platforms. Maybe it's specific in-person conferences. If you work with creative entrepreneurs, where are they? Maybe it's co-working spaces. Maybe it's design communities. And maybe, again, it's online platforms. Here's an example. One of my past clients is a wellness coach, and she wanted to work with busy professionals. So she asked herself, where do busy professionals who already care about their health hang out? Where are they already spending their time? Her answer was boutique fitness studios. She started teaching classes at these studios, built relationships with the patrons at this studio, and started proving her expertise. And once people got to know her, she mentioned that she does one-on-one coaching for people who want more personalized support with their nutrition and their lifestyle. Another example is I had a client who was an admissions specialist. She wanted to work with parents who were serious about their kids' education. So she started offering tutoring services through tutoring websites. She'd work with students, she'd build trust with families, and then eventually mentioned how she could help parents and students through the entire admissions process. You see what I'm saying here? You go where your people already are. Then you provide value in a very related and relatable way, and then you introduce how you can take them deeper. And the last place where you can find your ideal coaching clients is what I call OPP. That is other people's platforms. You down with OPP? Now this one is my personal favorite because I would say that OPP has really been good to my business. Like, it's the thing that has scaled my business faster than anything else. And the whole premise of OPP is, instead of trying to build your own audience from scratch, what if you could borrow somebody else's audience? And I don't mean this in a sneaky way, y'all. I mean in a mutually beneficial, everybody wins kind of way. Here's what I mean. Think about people who already have an audience where your ideal clients might be, but these people are not your direct competitors. Maybe it's a podcast host, maybe it's a blogger, maybe it's someone who teaches something that's adjacent to what you do. The key is to approach them with a clear value proposition that will be beneficial for their audience. You don't want to go to them talking about, can you promote my stuff? What you want to do is go to them and say something along the lines of, here's how I can bring value to your audience. So if you're a confidence coach and there's a podcast about leadership, you could pitch an episode on how to stop second guessing yourself in high stake meetings. You're providing valuable content for their audience, and in return, you are getting in front of a pool of prospective ideal clients. Or if you're a business coach, you could pitch to write a guest blog for an entrepreneurship site. The beautiful thing about this particular strategy is that you're coming in with instant credibility. The audience that you're getting in front of, they already know, like, and trust the podcaster or the blogger. And some of that trust automatically transfers to you when you show up on their platform. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, I'm not at that level of visibility yet, and I'm not quite ready to start pitching podcast hosts and bloggers. And here's my response to that. You don't need to start with the biggest podcast, blog, or internet site in your industry. And as a matter of fact, I would recommend that you don't, especially if you're just getting started. You can start small. There are literally thousands of podcasts and blogs that would love to feature you. And honestly, the process of putting yourself out there and delivering value, that right there is what's going to build your confidence. So, those are the 5 places for you to find your first coaching clients: your existing network, Facebook groups, LinkedIn, industry-specific communities and platforms, and OPP. But here's what I really want you to take away from this. Getting your first coaching client isn't about having everything perfect. It's not about having the biggest following on social media. It's about being intentional and strategic about where you show up and having the confidence to start conversations. And if you're sitting here thinking, okay, Nick, that's all great and good, but I don't even know exactly what to offer, how to price it, or even what to say when somebody asks me about my services. And if you're thinking that, I created something especially for you. It's called 2K to 2 hours, and it's a micro course that literally walks you through how to package what you know, price it with confidence, and actually make your first $2,000 high ticket offer. And here's the deal. I said it at the beginning of this video, and I'm going to say it again. I do not teach theory. I teach fact. And 2K in 2 hours is the exact framework that I used and that my clients have used to go from I think this is something that I might want to get into to making their first sale. The link for 2K to 2 hours is down in the description box if you want to learn more. And here's the deal. Whether you enroll in the course or not, I want you to pick one of these 5 places to find your ideal clients and take action on it within the next 24 hours. Reach out to one person in your network. Leave a helpful comment in a Facebook group. Send one connection request on LinkedIn. Just do one thing, because confidence doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. And as a matter of fact, if you're still watching this video, drop a comment and let me know which one of these 5 strategies you're going to take action on first. All right, y'all, if you found this helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who might find it helpful. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.